Guys, how's it going? Welcome back, of course, to the Time Bomb channel. I hope all is good in your part of the world. So in a world of generic breakfast cereals, to me, micro brands are the organic muesli of your watch box. And if you've not tried Danish muesli, well then here's the taste bud tickler. Oops, so he says again, the taste bud tickler. That is the Henry Archer Vesterhav, and this is ref 1680. Let me just pop it out of the box. And there's our watch for today. Very bold, very clean, very, very well finished indeed. Just before I get into the speckage on it though, I'm not usually into watch packaging, but this one again, very, very, very solid leather. And as you can see there, as a travel case, uber practical. You've got a locking side in one side, and then he says you've got another locking side in the other there. So yeah, one on your wrist, two in your suitcase, you're sorted for your holidays. So yeah, what was I going to say? So micro brands have been around since the beginning of watchmaking. I think that's probably fair to say, and some have become non-micros as a result, and others have vanished off the face of your dial. The plethora of watches from micro brands, I think, can be viewed either as a boon for us watch nutters or an absolute nightmare for our credit cards. More on that in a little bit of a moment. I did want to shout out to the legend of the Wristopia watch channel here for lending this one into the Time Bomb channel also. So let's just zoom in a fraction. So key speckage on this one, they retail at £537, but you do get the option of the 10% sign up discount, so do take advantage of that. These are 40 mils across, around 47 mils north to south, and a pretty solid slimness of 10 and a bit mils, and then sitting on sensible 20 mil lugs for that watch head size, which all translates to an easier wrist print. I'll just throw it on wrist check. I'm wearing my modded Rangeman here. Yeah, so as I was saying, that translates into a very, very, very sensible and reasonable wrist print. My wrist is about 7 and a bit inches, just under 7 and a quarter inch. And as you can see, hugs the wrist beautifully. And as well, that north to south profile as well, keeping it quite manageable and short, I think. Yeah, I mean, it's just a fantastic fitting watch and comfortable watch on wrist. So very positive in that sense. Yes, it's a dressier piece, but one of the things that I've liked about it since I've had it for the last couple of days is you can identify very quickly that they haven't cut corners, in the sense that it comes with 200 meters worth of watery goodness and not the usual 50 meters on these types of watches. And also, as you can see here in relation to my finger, the crown is a nice big chunker, which means people with larger fingers can access the movement, you can screw, unscrew, etc. And it works brilliantly. I often find that when watches shrink down to the 38s and the 40s, etc., that brands have a tendency to do that to the crown as well, and then it becomes ultra fiddly and very unmanageable. But here, the complete opposite. You get sapphire up front, and then also around the back, and then buzzing away inside here with that underneath that custom rotor, you have got the Myota 9019 movement, which is going to give you around 42 hours of power reserve. And I'm not sure if we can hear it, but that rotor is quite audible, common for this movement. I mean, accuracy wise, I mean, it should be solid, but as I say, it's quite a noisy rotor, it's reminiscent of the rotors you might find in Orients. So don't be alarmed by it. Let's zoom in a fraction more so you can get up very, very personal with that pink. The dial pink is not a pale pink, as you can see, it's a really solid hue. But you do have a lot of contrast or balance with this, and so obviously you've then got your blued out second hand with a little flash of red. That little flash of red then is reflected under the Vesterhav, and then obviously on your minute track, nice to see some different color font there as well. Again, something not that common. When it first arrived, and I had a look at it, the first thing, it sort of reminded me a little bit of the boldness of the fairer watch brands, adventures and use of colour. And as well, I think, you've got to say, thinking office wear, the shades of blue and pink and that drop of red are bold, they're balanced, but I think they're very cohesive. It's kind of like that matching your suit and your shirt and your tie, etc. If I had to pull a hole with a dial, it would be that the date window is quite petite down there. Yes, it's clear, nice to see it's a color date. It's a date match, color match wheel, but again, it is quite small to see down there when it's on wrist. If like me, this pink dialer perhaps is not your first automatic choice, they do come in a range of colors. And to me, the best color option is this, like what I would call a blue fragmentary dial. I mean, absolutely brilliant. You can just imagine the light play off that one. That was, as I say, my favorite from the Vesterhav range. The loom on here then looks like this, in that, you know, ideal cool blue. It pops very well. If I were being niggly, perhaps I would say that the loom on the hands is slightly fainter, but most people will probably be fine with that. The bracelet, again, is very well finished. I like the fact that it's all brushed and you don't have those annoying polished center links. You do then, he says somewhere around the back, yes, so you do also then get my other favorite aspect on, sorry, let me do it the right way around, on steel bracelet watches. I've got my thumb in the wrong place, can't see what I'm doing. You get a glide lock clasp, so giving you, you know, a huge amount of additional adjustment there for, you know, popping this over your dive suit if you're wearing it in the office, or alternatively on those hot days when your wrist swells up. Again, just really impressed to see that. You also then, the other thing I wanted to highlight here, I can't see it's on the other side. Yep, there we go. Love to see screw pins on here. We love those far more than the pin and collars. And then another good indication of the QC on here, let me see if I can just get in a smidge more, is that you can see, I always like to look at the ends of links in bracelets to see how well they've been finished. And as you can see, you know, they've done, these are all very clean and smooth. So again, lots of little bit of attention to detail on this, which I'm finding very impressive. The only thing that I couldn't see, and apologies to Henry Archer if I missed this on the website, I couldn't see if there was a coating on this steel to protect it from scratches, etc. So if you know any different, please do drop me a comment down below. Looking at Henry Archer has made me think a little bit more about the wider importance of micro brands. As a brand, Henry Archer perhaps are not so well known outside the micro brand world. And as it's a new brand for me, I popped up a quick question on the League of Micro Brands on Bookface. I just wanted to gauge what owners of Archers had to say about ownership, because obviously having a watch like this for a year, completely different from wearing it on wrist for a couple of days while it's been lent in for a review. And if you were on the fence at all about buying one from the brand, well, the feedback is overwhelmingly positive, and that doesn't happen all the time. So I was very reassured by that. Also, huge thanks to Henrik, the brand owner, responding to my post and for taking my question in good faith. Other guys on there, Christian, etc., you know, got some really useful, helpful, positive feedback. Clearly indicative as well that people are enjoying connecting with brands, and Henry Archer clearly allows for that, with Henrik speaking to watch buyers all day and every day. Chapeau to him for that, because that's got to be hard to maintain while you're running your own watch company. I think we'll all agree that because of the lack of adherence to large brand DNA, micro brands like Henry Archer are having a big impact on the watch buying world, watch designs, and on us watch nutters. I think to balance things, we should also make the distinction between watchmakers and designers, because yeah, we all know the difference between the internals and the externals. Very two different ball games. But in conclusion, I think what really appeals to me about this one is it kind of reminds me of why I like micro brands so much. The QC is spot on, and the design is hugely fun and just very well executed indeed. Anyway, over to you guys for your thoughts on this Vesterhav and the Henry Archer brand. Look forward to hearing your thoughts and comments down below, guys. Thanks as always for your time and for your view, and catch you all in the next watch vid. Cheers now.